Alright.
Hi, we're back for chapter 2.
And the lights came on for chapter 2.
Magical!
Anyway.
This room even knows that this is just too good to miss. Now we're at chapter 2 of Forbiden Fruit, the temptation of Edward Cullen. And this chapter is called Edward.
Right.
And we're going to get started with the author's note. And I guess there was somebody named Vincent who commented, author's note, Vincent, or whatever your name is, thanks for the lame review. You total star. I'm assuming she called him a dick. No one is making you read this fic. You don't like it, then leave. Celestial Zodiac and Brittany J. Thanks for the advice on my character, but she's not a Mary Sue. She's not perfect. Look, she has anger problems and she looks the way she does for a reason. I will explain. The story goes on.
Okay.
The anger faded from my sapphire eyes. Whatever, I said sweatily. I didn't mean to yell and beride. Thou art too beautiful for that, he said. And for once I didn't feel like cock-dropping the guy for paying me a compliment. Instead I just smiled. I'm Edward Cullen, he murmured. Who are thee?
Atlantiana Lauren, but you can call me Tiana, or maybe Mabai. Tia, I said, feeling shy at the way he was looking at me. I had seen that look in so many male eyes, but never quite as intense or sexy. His eyes burned hot, gold velvet in the midday sun, like a peonyx feathers and rainbows. So golden magical.
So golden magical.
Thou reminds me of bygone times, he said carefully, retching out a shaking hand and brushing my cheek. Thy face is like an old painting. Thou's exceptional.
Okay, so we're just gonna stop there and do some commentating now. Who's Edward? If anybody can tell us who Edward is, we would be. I thought this was called Edward. But I could be wrong.
This Edward character.
This Edward who comes in and
he's
apparently he his eyes burned like hot gold in the midday sun, like a peonyx feathers and rainbows, so gold and magical. Wow. And he also talks like a freaking retarded knight of the round table.
He really does. It's like embarrassing.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's not gone from those bygone times. I know enough about Twilight to know he's not from the 1500s.
I'm pretty sure he's from freaking Chicago, not Camelot.
Not Camelot. But yeah, so there'll be lots of that kind of talking in the process of this. So be prepared for that, for him to be talking like that. And honestly, once again, we're not making this up.
I don't think we could if we tried.
We are reading this word per word. We're not exaggerating this.
Oh,
so
gosh. Okay.
All right. Would you like to continue?
Where is it? Okay. You're not so shanky yourself. You're not so shanky yourself, but I couldn't help noticing you have a frickin' GF, you ass. I saw you with her in the cafeteria. I notched his hand hard with my long black nails. Did notice me then? He purred with a sly grin. I was up against the wall, his face right close to me now. He wanted to sex me, I could tell. And suddenly he was kissing me. I felt my slim legs would break in half and my heart expanded like a big balloon.
Pretty sure that's not healthy.
I felt his hand sliding softly down my neck and underneath my top. He stroked my breasts for a few minutes.
Stoked.
Oh yeah, it does say stoked, huh?
Stoked.
He stoked her breasts for a few minutes.
Who's your favorite?
And his man carrot, standing in action, was hard as a rock.
Against my legs.
Against her legs. And then he ripped my top and pulled it off and pulled it of me and doped it on the floor. We made out for 10 minutes. That's very precise. And Then he tried to take off my bra, but I pushed him away suddenly, thinking, "Wolf, Tia! You just gonna let this total stranger take your clothes off in school where anyone could see you?"
I like how that's what she's worried about.
Right.
No, not this guy pushing her up against the wall and making out with her with his man carrot standing at attention. She's thinking, what if somebody sees this?
Oh, wow.
She got her
Anyway.
priorities straight. Anyways.
I'd never let a guy kiss me before or touch me, and suddenly I was letting this cheating sicko with a frickin' goof grope me just 'cause he was uber howit and with sexoy hair and cold as death. I was acting like a biatch and a slut, and I was suddenly very ashamed of my actions. Would you like to continue?
I would love to. Bastard! Never touch me again, I gasped. If thou thinkst thou can keep thou hands of me, he answered all smug, and I could believe how he made me feel so angry and so aroused at the same time. At that moment, I never hated any boy more in my whole life, and the worst part was that he was so freaking hot. I was totally creaming my panties, and he knew it. This was horrible. I felt disgusted with myself and turned to leave.
It says disguised.
I felt disguised with myself, and I
She's
turned to leave.
disguised with herself.
Wait, I need to speak to thee. I know your secret, Tia, he said in a quiet voice, gazing into my eyes. You're one of my kind. That is awkward moment when somebody gasses into your eyes. You are one of my kind. Who made thee? Are you part of a coven or on thou own? I like how he kept saying thou.
Thou.
Are you part of a coven or on thou own? What? I said sharply. Dude, you're insane. And you freaking smell. He didn't really smell, but I didn't know what else to say. Yes, this is my favorite. Thy a campire, Tia. A vampire. Wait, I thought she was a campire.
When did this happen? Wow.
This
It's like magic.
She's a campire. And now she's a vampire. But why can't I read thy mind? I thought Bella was the only one, but here thou art. What does this all mean? It's so bright, it's so vivid. He was probably looking at a double rainbow before.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
Would you like to continue?
All right, I would love to. He punched the wall with his buckly fist and shouted, suddenly furious, and his eyes flickered red. I schlepped him hard across the face. She schlepped him.
Schlepped him even.
Really hard. I tried to leave, but he caught my waist. Once again, not your waist, but like garbage. And as I struggled, I tried to hit him again, but he caught my hand midair and hammed me against the wall, where his hand had already made a huge dent in the wall. His face was blunt and right heavy in mine. My knee came up hard against his massive throbbing giggle stick between his legs, and he drubbed over in pan. I don't know. Okay. In pan.
I'm thinking doubled over in pain, but that didn't work out so well.
No. He broke free and goaded my books. I broke free and goaded my books and started rugging away to math. But Edward hand finished with me. He hand finished with her. Okay. Tia! No! He screamed after me, tearing his shirt off of himself in fury, throwing it over my eyes. I lost sight and was behind me, breathing into my ears.
I hate when I'm so angry that I just throw my shirt off in fury and put it over someone's eyes.
God.
Okay, when that happens?
That's like the angriest I've ever been.
Angriest I've ever been.
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
Okay.
continue.
I'm sorry, Tia, he whimpered sadly, picking me up off the floor and gazing mutely into my eyes.
Which I thought were covered by his shirt, which
Yeah.
he ripped off in a fury.
I didn't mean to rut thee. I'm so contemptuous. I apologize. This is just so weird. You're so freaking weird, you mean? I snaped. She's gonna snape a lot in this. Which, I don't know. If
I don't know.
Harry
I'm
Potter.
pretty sure.
fan fiction.
I think
probably makes sense.
I think Severus though would be very insulted.
Yeah,
Anyway.
having his name associated with this
Okay.
thing. I sniped Whiteley as he lay on the floor so hot and crying with his shirt off, with his pimpling body. I wanted to forgive him for calling me a vampire. Vampire! I heard that one before from preppy losers asking if I slept in a coffin and sucked blood like Lestat. That's what I read, and I got a little bit. I was gonna snap my fingers in a Z formation because you do not bring Lestat into your crappy little thing about Twilight.
Lestat and Twilight should never be associated ever. Oh. Okay.
Just because I like eyeliner and listen to Linkin Park, which I'm pretty sure Lestat doesn't like eyeliner and listens to Linkin Park. Just as a reader of Anne Rice, I don't think that's
not the case.
And making fun of me and trying to force me against a wall and maybe plunder my crevices, but I didn't. I left him crying on the floor and went to find my class. As I entered math class, I suddenly dropped my box again, and a flashing pain burned in my left hand as my birthmark glinted gold for a second. No joke! And then I fell over. The pain was suddenly gone, and some weirdo blonde freak called Eric was helping me up and staring at me like a pervo rapist. I kicked him in the shoulder. Kung Fu, baby! I just kicked him in the shoulder as he gazed longingly after me. In his freaking dreams, I sat down in the back of the class, unable to think about anything but my weird encounter with Edward Cullen, wondering what it could all mean.
But
author's note.
Before we read the author's note, can I just point out, plunder my crevices. Plunder my crevices.
Anyways.
Author's note. What do you think? Please, RNR, big shout out to my shout out. It does say shout out, huh? Anyway, the way it's written is really weird. It threw me off a little. To my friend Abigail, good luck for tomorrow. Did you see I put the man carrot thing in? Hello. Also, love to Tiffy and Ratch. I guess that's supposed to be Rach, but I always read it Ratch every time that's the case. And Zack Baby, of course. Love you guys so much. XXX.
Becky Mac XX. Exciting.
Oh goodness. So that was the end of chapter 2.
That's the end of chapter 2. Now next, be prepared for chapter 3.
Yeah.